Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenades from Pukin eliminate everybody on the field.
Now between something as well is going to be a fly as and Death Buster, and it's going to be huge! Fighting 3!
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys!
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the 4-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Oh man, it has been a hot minute since I have been surrounded by this UI here. Hello everybody, welcome back to another night of Tranquility action. I am Getster, and joining me is someone I am a little unfamiliar with. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Hi, I'm Needle. I'm long-time Tranquility member, except I took a break for a little while, coming back. Casted a few games, doing a little bit of coaching, having fun. I'm really excited for this match tonight, Getster.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Should be a good time. I've not casted a full best of 5 in a hot minute, so this should be a good time. I'm excited. Now tonight we have Pukin Dogs and Maelstrom going up in a clash for the ages. The 4-2 team, a 3-3 team. Records very similar. One a little bit more skewed, but like, yeah, I mean, it's not that different. A couple maps and it could have been even, you know, here and there.
Yeah,
but,
it's really true.
But you know, Needle, you were telling me you watched a couple replay codes, and you were very interested in how both of these teams played Ramatra. You mentioned a little bit of that before the broadcast went live, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's interesting. Both these teams, they showed a lot of their looks in their matches last week, which is right after the patch, keep in mind. Both teams played primarily Ramatra, though, in their matches, and when Maelstrom played it, they usually played it with Ana Kiriko, some Lucio Kiriko, and when Pukin Dogs played it, they played it with a lot of Lucio Ana. Maelstrom also showing the occasional Mei Bastion look when they play the Ramatra, so I'm interested to see how the different styles of Ramatra play will play out in the match tonight.
Oh yeah, okay, should be interesting. A lot of interesting choices across the board here. I gotta say, I've seen a fair amount of Bastion recently, at least in the games I've casted, but I don't know. If you told me a little while ago that Bastion would be a character I see often in this sort of tournament environment, I would have laughed at you. Either way, looks like we're going to be starting out on Lijiang Tower this evening. And yeah, should be fun. Very rush heavy. Probably going to see a lot of that Ramatra you were just bringing up on basically all three of these points. And maybe some room for a couple weird picks here and there. Like, this Pharah they're hinting at? I mean, I doubt we get it. They are showing Pharah Widowmaker on a very, not great point for either of those characters.
Yeah, Pharah is another character that Maelstrom did lean towards in some of the replay codes that I witnessed, but probably not on this point. I would imagine they're gonna go with May Bastion, and
Yeah,
that's what they're
alright.
gonna be rolling out on.
Man, you're so smart, Needle. Goddamn. Goddamn. Pattern recognition, all that. Maybe one day I'll pick up on it. Yo, is that a Vegas Eternal skin on this Ramatra? I kind of dig the new Vegas Eternal, like, colors. The rebrand's a little weird, but, like, I like the colors, so I'm not gonna complain. Either way, onto the point. Onto the point goes Pukin Dogs. Lots of pressure into the corner here, but Maelstrom's gonna be able to find the first pick. Blackman finding Zorthcon. That Ana going down real quick means you've lost the majority of your healing. Pukin Dogs very nearly captures the first point anyway, though. Doesn't end up happening. The tank rushes on. Iconic is there as well, and eventually Maelstrom will take this first fight.
Yeah, and Maelstrom there, they're going to have a lot of value in the early fight since they're playing Bastion and May, the Pukin Dogs playing Tracer and Hanzo, right? Pukin Dogs, they have to rely on Zorthcon's utility, the Nade and the Sleep, to help negate Maelstrom's initial aggression. And Zorthcon going down first there was just instant nail in the coffin. It was really hard for Pukin Dogs to win after that.
Yep, it is donezo immediately if you lose your Ana in this composition. Especially if you get run down by the opposing Ramatra. But crucially, they do charge up a lot of their ultimates. Like, they have the Pulse Bomb, they almost have the Annihilation here. This could potentially be bad for Maelstrom if they let this fight drag on a whole lot longer. Out goes the Pulse Bomb, but it's not going to find much value. But Maelstrom loses their Ramatra right off the bat. Ocker is going to find that pick. Really well done there. Out go a couple more ultimates. The Annihilation and the Dragon Strike go out. And I think those couple picks are going to be enough to eventually flip this point right back in favor of Pukin Dogs. Right back and forth already. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, and it's a nice retake there from Pukin Dogs, but Maelstrom have to be a little bit happy with how much that Pukin Dogs invests in there. Using the Dragon and the Annihilation, two tools that could be used to stave off Maelstrom's aggressive play they go for with the Bastion here. Hypernut already trying to take some space with the turret for Maelstrom, approaching a lot of ultimates too.
They're on the way, but Ocker crucially does have this sound barrier to defend against at very least something. It's really just a question of what do you choose to defend against with this thing, right? Iconic nearly has this Blizzard, so you may have to just do that. But they use it in advance, and then the Nano goes out onto Ochre, who finds Iconic right off the bat. So much damage going in. A little bit of an unconventional play, but it gets the job done, and Pukin Dogs are going to take this second fight in a row. Potentially finding another stagger here? No. Flatman will escape, just barely though.
Yeah, and the Boostio, a little unconventional, but I mean, it gets the job done. Ochre kills one immediately right off the bat with it, but it's going to be really hard for Pukin Dogs to win this fight though. Maelstrom, they have all 5 ultimates in the bank. They could start with pretty much any of them and find a lot of value, and they're already going in fast.
They're going in real quick here. I doubt Ricky lives much longer. There he goes, Slick with a pretty good answer back onto Hypernut. Using that Pulse Bomb to take him out of the picture. Zorthcon falls, but Maelstrom's gonna get the flip anyway. A couple picks are still going back and forth here, so fight's not entirely over yet. I say that, but they're running away. They're just gonna let this keep ticking up, at least for now. Maelstrom stabilizing.
Yeah, they are, and they have 3 ultimates to hold down the point. 3 very powerful ones, with only 27% more they need to get to win the round. This might be last fight territory here, and Maelstrom looking to have a heavy advantage.
They're looking pretty good right now for sure, but out goes that Dragon Strike. Not gonna find anything. Ochre and Ricky are gonna fall. This is really bad news for Pukin Dogs. It looks like they're gonna have to be hoping to take this second point, because right now it is looking pretty futile. 45 health on Blackman though. If there's a pick to find, it's right there. Not gonna end up happening though. The Blizzard goes out. Can anybody touch? No, the Tracer's just too far away. And just like that, Maelstrom, off the back of a really good first fight, and a slightly weird play from Pukin Dogs somewhere near the middle at that point, they will take control center.
Yeah, and that first fight and the following fight right after went so well for Maelstrom. They got all the way up to 50%, and I don't believe they had used any ultimates at that point. They had all 5 ultimates to get the retake and then hold it down. They were just in an amazing position after the beginning of that point. But we're going to see different styles here, changing it up on Lijiang Night Market. Maelstrom, they're going to be showing their Pharah look, and Pukin Dogs, I believe Booncore is going to be going over to the Tracer, and they're going to be playing some Ball Sombra Tracer here. I'm worried for Triage. There are a lot of tools to run him over. Even though he's on Kiriko, Pukin Dogs are going to probably just be looking to target him down the entire time.
That's true, but you said it. If there's any character that can avoid all of that from the dive, it is Kiriko. That teleport had Suzu. How did I forget the name of the ability? All of those very good tools for avoiding a dive, and right off the bat, it kind of looks like Maelstrom are getting the better end of it. Slick is going to be the first one to fall in this fight. Hypernut just spamming in this damage on the Pharah. So much can be poked in at such a long distance, especially with this Mercy Pocket. Booncore and Slick are going to be making a couple swaps over to the Echo Tracer instead. Yeah, we're seeing wholesale swaps from Pukin Dogs here. They're on the Ana and the Mercy now.
Yeah, and it's mostly a compositional mirror in terms of playstyle here. Both have dive comps, but with the air aspect of playing the Mercy with flying character to pocket as well. We see them dueling here on the coast. Pukin Dogs, though, they're going to be at a disadvantage for the rest of the round, though, since they made all of the switches in the first fight, and the first kill going the way of Hypernut, too. Amazing shots on the Pharah. Oker's
in a lot of trouble right now. Very difficult to get away. Slick is there to give that line of sight for the Guardian Angel. Eventually, Oker will rejoin the team, but the damage has been done. A lot of time has been wasted. Ricky will not be able to backcap that point, and it is still building for the side of Maelstrom. And it's not looking great, but Mambro Dude does eventually fall. Down goes that Mercy, and eventually this might actually go their way. Hypernut goes down, and so does Iconic. Eventually, at long last, in a fight that looked pretty bad for them starting out, they will stabilize and recapture after this ball goes down at about 64%.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how Manprodude went down there, but after that, the dominoes just kind of fall, right? Hypernut can't really stay alive without his Mercy being there for him. And Pukin Dogs, now, they may be down in percentage, but it seems like they're in the driver's seat. They have the positional advantage, being able to control the point here, and they're approaching 5 ultimates.
They're getting pretty close here. It's kind of a question of what they decide to use first in this fight, though. They could potentially get away with winning this fight off the back of only one of them, but the same thing could be said about the other Pulse Bomb. Down goes Zorthon, but Mambro Dude is caught in the crossfire there. The barrage is immediately going to deal with that duplicate form. No duplicate Pulse Bomb for you, Booncore, but eventually the revenge will come through. Hypernut will fall, and Maelstrom might once... Yeah, they're still in trouble here. They're still in trouble. Hypernut goes over to the Echo, and yeah, that's just a reset. You gotta get out of there, Bladman.
Yeah, and Booncore, at the beginning, we saw instantly gets gapped by Hypernut. Hypernut 2-shots him out of the air as Pharah, but since then, Booncore's kind of been taken over. We see Pukin Dogs trying to take a little bit of an early fight here with the Pulse Bomb. The Suzu goes out early. Zorthon has the Nano Boost online.
Zorthon with this Nano. Who's the target here? The Tracer, maybe? But, like, I don't know. Yeah, the Tracer is going to be the eventual target. 32 health on this Tracer, though. You have to recall. Good force of that ability. Zorthon will go down, but Blackman and Hypernut are very low right now. If you can find them, then you probably got this point locked down, but Oker falling to Hypernut. And then Booncore going down as well. That's exactly what they needed right now. They needed these players to come up clutch. 88% is a pretty decent spot for them, but if Pukin Dogs win one more fight, then they have a pretty good chance of taking this point.
Yeah, and last fight there, Pukin Dogs, they had a nice early advantage. The Suzu was forced out by the Pulse Bomb. I'm surprised that they didn't go in earlier with the Nano Boost there. It's a little bit too late, and Maelstrom, they were able to stabilize, and they were able to live through it. Do pretty well with their Kitsune Rush there. And Maelstrom, they have some tools to lock down the point as well. Iconic has another Pulse Bomb, and Hypernut very, very close to the duplicate.
Everything rides on this Pulse Bomb from Slick. If you're Pukin Dogs, you need this to be massive right now, because Ricky can get a minefield, but, like, it needs to be fast. He has it at long last, probably going to drop it on the point any second now. There it is. Oker goes down, though. You've lost your Mercy. That's a majority of your healing. And with Zorthon going down as well, that's the worst possible time to lose him. The flip does go out. Ricky finding Iconic. The pulse bomb sticking onto Blackman means he's going to be super low for the rest of this fight. Blackman and Boomcore go down. Man, Bro Dude, and Triage are so ridiculously low. And eventually, I think Pukin Dogs might actually have this one. It looks like it finally 99.99, and someone touches there. The Tracer gets back onto the point. Iconic is just barely stalling out in time for Blackman to get there, but Hypernut is just now coming back from the spawn room. It's gonna be close. Can anybody still touch? Just barely. Once again, Manbro Dude in the sky with the Valkyrie will fall. The ball is still contesting this point. Hypernut is almost back at this point, but I don't know that they'll make it back definitively, and Pukin Dogs will eventually, after a very drawn-out overtime, take Night Market. We are going to Garden.
Yeah, and it was the heroics there from Ricky and from Booncore. You pointed out the minefield absolutely massive from Ricky there. Zoning the front part of the points that Maelstrom had to walk through it to touch, was able to catch somebody out with the minefield, and Booncore with 2 or 3 crucial kills helped turn the fight around, even though 2 people on Pukin Dogs died early. But now we're heading to Garden, and it seems like it's going to be the same comps for the most part. Pukin Dogs, though, if they go out on the Zen here with Zorthon on the Zen, that's going to be really, really hard for them to play. No, they're going to go back to the Ana, to the Kiriko. They keep changing up on me. It looks like a full compositional mirror here.
Almost a mirror. Oh, now it is a mirror. They were just doing the Lucio speed boost out of spawn. I was a little excited to see somebody maybe go for an environmental, but yeah, that's going to be difficult into the composition that has at least 2 flying characters, a wrecking ball, a teleporting character, and another teleporting character. Either way, Ochre and Ricky are looking super low right off the bat, and Ricky will eventually be the first one to fall. Iconic with some good shots across the board there, and Boomcore is just having to back off here. Without your main tank, you are just in trouble. Maelstrom will almost certainly be taking this first capture. There it is. Pretty solid stuff there, but this fight not over yet. Iconic very nearly goes down there. Recalls at 4 health. Slick and Zorthkon looking relatively low right now, but can be topped up relatively quickly. They're rotating through the side room, maybe taking a little bit of a weird angle here. Slick is looking for just any amount of poke damage onto Iconic right now, but Ochre will be the first to fall in this, like, part 2 of the first fight. This is still the first fight, technically. Nothing has ended, it's just been poking this whole time. Triage goes down, though, and with Iconic going down, then they maybe have a chance here. How are they doing this without Ochre here, man? Boomcore goes down, but as long as they can clear Blackman, they take this point.
Yeah, and it's really surprising to see Pukin Dogs coming out, winning that fight, despite Ochre going down first. It's still going on here, though, and this is crucial percentage that Maelstrom is getting by stalling the point here. Will they win this fight? Probably not, but they've stalled it all the way up to 51, 52%. They're still stalling. Iconic with 2 kills. Ricky goes down off the map. Suddenly, it looks like Maelstrom are back in this.
What? How? Wait, what? They stalled that like 1 or 2 players at a time and managed to retake that at the last possible second. They gained 70% out of that needle. They didn't give that up once. And now Pukin Dogs are in such a bad position. They don't have beat, they don't have pulse bomb. They need this minefield and this Kitsune rush and maybe this duplicate if they can get it quickly enough to be massive. But it's in 1 fight territory. Even if they flip now, they have such little room for error. Slick is so low right now. Out go a couple minefields onto the point. So many mines. Pukin Dogs have a couple picks going their way. Make that 3. With Ochre down, it'll definitely go to 99, but at least for now, Maelstrom is pretty happy with themselves, especially getting those picks under Zorthon and Ricky. There's no way this is a 99-0 with how good Pukin Dogs looked early on in the minefield. From the Echo, going to be going in on both sides. Down goes Boomcore's duplicate here. There's so much happening. Ochre, Slick, and Boomcore are all down. Can anybody get there? Yeah, barely though. Ricky is there. Zorthon is there. There's a Kitsune rush on this point, but no minefield in sight, and it's gonna be difficult to get there. No healers, no nothing. Slick with a good pulse bomb onto Hypernut. That could be an opening. That could be the opening they need. Man, Bro Dude going down as well. The slam onto the point. Gonna be dealing a fair amount of damage. Flatman relatively low right now. If not for that adaptive shield, Triage will fall to the Sombra of Booncore, who will also find Iconic. They flip it!
Yeah, I do not know what is going on, Gedster. I'm going to be honest, these fights have been so back and forth, so messy. It seems like the team that is winning the fight ends up losing it every time, and I don't understand how it's happening. But Maelstrom here and Pukin Dogs, they've ended up on different compositions here after all of the big messy stall fight. Hypernut goes over to the Pharah, and Pukin Dogs are on a more rush variant here. Booncore going down first, winning this 80% EMP is very bad for Pukin Dogs here, but they have some tools to stay.
A minefield in play. Ricky also having the minefield at the ready though. With the sound barrier going down, that could be potentially massive. Booncore's coming back. Damn near has this EMP, but gets hit with a couple rockets. Forced to back away, but they know exactly where he is. That's a Sombra in trouble right now. Yep, there he goes. Vanbro dude traded out though. A couple more picks come in from Maelstrom. Hypernut on the Pharah, gonna find 4! It's just Slick on the point. Only Slick alive. Iconic goes into the abyss, but I don't think it'll matter that much. Eventually, Flatman will find it. There is a touch from Booncore. But, like, I don't know. It's gonna be close. If the rest of the team can get back, then maybe we see the pattern of the losing team winning continue. But with Zorthcon and Ochre down, there's no support. There's no healing. 77 in this building. If anybody can do it right now, it's a Tracer to stall. But with Ricky and Slick going down, I don't think anybody's nearby. Booncore changes my mind immediately. Gets on the point, uncloaks, and now it's just Ochre, Zorthcon. People are actually getting back in relative time to stall this, at least for a little bit longer. Zorthcon going down. Now, though, the ball has been afforded enough time to get back. The Tracer is back. The Pulse Bomb sticks onto that Wrecking Ball, though. Ricky will fall, Slick will fall, and eventually, after what seems like a slew of overtime fights that should have gone one way but went the other, Maelstrom will take map 1.
Yeah, and I think that might be one of, if not the longest points of control that I have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
That was such a dog fight between these two teams. I mean, it really seemed like Pukin Dogs should have won this point. That first fight, they were losing, they lose their Mercy, but then they kill 4, they're coming back, and then Iconic with the heroic sticks one with the Pulse Bomb, kills another, and then Ricky rolls off the map somehow, and then it gets flipped around, and then Maelstrom seems like they're gonna win. They're up massively, and then Pukin Dogs, they get the heroics, they start winning, they flip the point, and then I think the big difference maker in the end was Hypernut switching over to the Pharah though. After Pukin Dogs, they had to switch up their composition. They had to get off the Echo Mercy because they had to go Sombra, they had to go Lucio, they had to go fast characters to stall because it was so sloppy, because it was so messy. Maelstrom, they realized this, they're like, oh, they have no answer for our Pharah, we're at 99%, they can't switch to anything to counter it. Hypernut recognizes this, goes over to the Pharah, and kills 7 in the last fight. It was a very elongated fight, but still 7 final blows from him. Really, really good performance there, but wow, that was back and forth.
That was genuinely wild. Also, you pointed out, like, the longest round of control you've seen in a while. I think that was the longest round of control that I've seen for how few fights there were. Like, that was, like, what, 4 fights total? Just constant, like, several minute-long sustained fights over and over and over again. It wouldn't end. It wouldn't end, people. And when it did end, eventually, Maelstrom came out on top. But, man, Pukin Dogs had a couple opportunities here and there to completely turn that on its head. Now, our next map, I'm not even sure about what the map type was here. I'll be real. I had it in my head. I remembered. And then I forgot. It's hybrid. Thank you, production. We love production. So, with that map in mind, Needle, where do you think we could be going here?
I'm really not sure. I don't know what type of composition you want to play if you're Pukin Dogs. After you just played against Maelstrom there, you win 1 round on the ball comp mirror, you lose 1 round on the ball comp mirror. The Ramatra mirror is also pretty back and forth. I believe in the hybrid pool we have, there's Eichenwald, there's Paraiso, and there's One map that's slipping my mind right now, I'm not exactly sure what you want to go if you're Puking Dogs, but it'll be interesting to see what they pick and what composition they want to lean towards as their composition that they think they can beat Maelstrom on. Because so far, it's been back and forth on the ball, back and forth on the Ramatra. Maybe they'll pull out something different. Maybe they'll pull out a map where they can play Sigma. Blizzard World is the third hybrid map in the pool. They could pull out Blizzard World. They could go Sigma. That's what they played in their match last week. They played some Sigma. They played a little bit of ball on their attack too, and they full held the map playing Sigma. They might go there. They might go somewhere else. But I think no matter where they go, it'll be interesting to see which composition they choose, and if that's a composition that they feel they can win on in the series.
You see, me personally, I'm a really big fan of some Sigma gameplay, so I would love to see me some Blizzard World. Fun map, gorgeous map, by the way. I've always liked that map. It looks so pretty. I'm a big fan of StarCraft as well, so like that whole second point, I'm just looking around and I'm like, yeah, I'm a kid in a candy store on Blizzard World. Yeah, it's great stuff. And hey, we are gonna be going to Blizzard World. Let's go. I'm happy about this one. Thank you, Pukin Dogs. You guys are real ones.
Yeah, it's nice for you, and I think it's going to be nice for the series too. We get to see another composition come out here. We saw the Ramatra, we saw the ball, and I'm expecting to see the Sigma come out from Pukin Dogs, and a little bit more ball in their attack too. I'm interested to see what Maelstrom play on this map, though. They've played in their last match a fair amount of Diva, fair amount of ball, fair amount of Ramatra. Is pretty balanced. But usually what they would play when they weren't playing Ramatra is they would play Pharmacy. But I don't think Pharmacy is going to be the best comp you can play on Blizzard World. You get to see Puking Dogs. They're going to roll out with their ball comp on the attack. It's the same thing that they played last week. And Maelstrom, they're pulling out what I was talking about a little bit at the beginning, before we played map 1, the Ramatra comp, where they play the Ana Kiriko. They don't like to play the traditional Ramatra comp as much. They like to play it with the double flex support, with the Hanzo, with the Tracer, and it's a really potent comp where all of your individual players can make big individual plays and just completely win fights. Anas can hit big nades, Kirikos can hit headshots, and so can Hanzos. So I'll be interested to see if Pukin Dogs, they can live through the rotate that they have to make into what Maelstrom's playing.
As you say, all of these characters can like win fights single-handedly. Pukin Dogs, on the other hand, gonna be running a much more teamwork-oriented composition here. The Sombra, the Tracer, the Wrecking Ball, this very traditional dive comp with a Zenyatta to boot. That Discord Orb gonna be very deadly for anybody who happens to be touched by it, but at least for now, the poke is gonna be keeping them away. This Hanzo already putting out a fair amount of damage. 30% of the ult's already charged. Very impressive stuff. And so far, yeah, rather unable to get in have been Pukin Dogs. They're just not able to get in on this team quite yet. Should be interesting to see where it goes from here. The sleep dart onto Ricky forces him away once he gets awoken. But that Mega in the side room has been massive for him so far. And there's no denial on that health pack. There's no Sombra on Maelstrom to speak of here. Ooh, but speaking of Sombra, Slick's gonna find that first pick onto Manbro, dude. The defense is starting to falter just a little bit. That dive coming into play for sure. Slick and Nova finding a couple more picks here. Zorthcon will fall, but you still have the Brig healing. You should be fine. And with Blackman and Hypernut both going down, this is a definite capture for Pukin Dogs.
Yeah, and it's a good catch there from Pukin Dogs, noticing Manbro Dude a little bit out of position. We're able to catch him off with a nice little setup from the flankers and the ball there. But we see just how hard it is for Pukin Dogs to get in there. It took them a minute and a half just to win that first fight, and now we see they're making the adaptations. Their backline, they had to rotate all the way through top, and by the time they got in the fight, it was pretty much already over. It took them so long to get there. They're going to be going over to the Kiriko Lucio now. Pukin Dogs, they're going to be able to play a lot faster, go in for a lot faster engages, probably onto Manbro Dude again, maybe onto the Hanzo as well, Slick scouting them out a little bit. But Pukin Dogs, they're going to have a lot faster of a tempo than they did in their first fight.
And they still got those couple of ultimates that you can single-handedly win a fight with, particularly that Pulse Bomb, but it is mirrored by Maelstrom right now, so you gotta be real careful. Ricky relatively low, about 300 health, but ooh, a good coordinated dive from both him and Slick. Gonna take out Hypernut, that's a lot of your damage gone. And no Dragon Strike, at least for now, but even then, should be okay. The EMP is here for Slick. Not gonna opt to use it quite yet, good trigger discipline. With Iconic going down, you may not end up needing it here. Blackman, and oh, but with the Kiri going down, yeah, you're definitely not gonna need that. Out goes the Annihilation. It's not gonna find very much value other than the pick on the Zorthcon, but even then, it might not be that great. We'll see what ends up happening here, but the Dragon Strike gets tossed in, not finding anything. EMP is a potential option here. Out goes the Translocator. Minefield down onto the back line, but doesn't find the pick onto Manbrodu. This is just extremely sustained and extremely long. There's the EMP at long last. And with that button being pressed, a couple players will go down. Flatman getting that nano, gonna find a pick onto Ochre, and Triage finding a headshot onto Nova. Really strong stuff so far. No slam onto those two supports. Not high enough in the air, and Ricky will leave.
Yeah, and I was talking about how the fights would be faster here from Pukin Dog, but that fight took forever.
Yes.
And we see the clock is just draining down more and more for them. Only 2.5 minutes left. The Maelstrom's composition, they can sustain very, very effectively on the point and for a long time, because Blackman can just kind of sit there and Manbrodu can pocket him. Pukin Dogs, they have to be able to win the fights fast, but they don't exactly have the tools to do it right now. They don't have the EMP or the Minefield. They're approaching the support ult, and maybe that'll be their cue to engage. But Zorthcon goes down.
Okay, but that's a problem! You lose both of your supports so quickly, and now you've used all of the ults that could let you end this fight early. Nova even using that pulse bomb to take out Iconic there. Impressive finding a Tracer, yeah, but like, how are you finishing this fight? You don't have healers, Nova's dead. Congratulations, you found Hypernut. You still have to leave.
Yeah, and it's pretty rough here for Pukin Dogs. But now they have both support ults online.
Oh,
they
no.
need to get in. Oh, Slick's gonna get staggered out here.
Oh,
the
no.
time just drains further and further from them. And it's so hard because the cart is also going to be pushing further back here. Maelstrom, they might be able to have 2 fights left on this point. You can't overinvest if you're Pukin Dogs here in this next fight, because you're going to have to win another fight after that. And Maelstrom, they are 70% to 3 ultimates. It is very, very, very dangerous territory here for Pukin Dogs, despite them having an ultimate advantage this fight and 1 minute on the clock.
Yep, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad for Pukin Dogs. A sleep dart lands onto Ricky. No big punish there because of the recent changes. Only 3.5 seconds goes that wrecking ball to sleep, but Iconic going down there. That could be the opening they need here. EMP is online, Minefield is online, but with Nova going down, your Tracer, you can't really put a lot of consistent pressure onto the backline. It's a lot less damage with just the Sombra there. EMP goes out, lands onto a couple players, but it's not gonna land onto enough. Eventually the Kiriko will go down. The Nano on the Ramatra does find a couple picks, but that cart has moved so far backwards. Even if you won that fight, you were not capturing the point.
That's true, and it's so rough here in the mid-fight when Maelstrom, when they have the Nano Boost, when they have the Ramatra ult, they can just deny the engage from Pukin Dogs. They went in there with the sound barrier, really effective. They were able to get some kills early, but Maelstrom, all they have to do is kill a couple people, and Pukin Dogs' momentum is just absolutely shattered here. And that's all that Maelstrom have to do this fight as well. Pukin Dogs, they're going to have to win 2 fights. They're going to have to win a fight in overtime. If Maelstrom just finds 1 kill in this quick little engagement here, it'll be a nail in the coffin here for Pukin Dogs.
Almost certainly. Pukin Dogs, they really need this. They needed that pulse bomb! They needed that pulse bomb more than anything else in the game! And Hypernut hits the perfectly timed headshot. Down goes Nova! And now it'll take so long for him to get back to the fight. Slick looking a little bit worse for wear, and nobody will touch! What a fantastic pick from Hypernut to seal the deal on that defending half. They will only get a couple meters away from the end of point B. 1 point for Pukin Dogs, and the golden box of victory is in a very clear spot for Maelstrom.
Yeah, and it feels like Pukin Dogs, their composition wants to go so fast. They play the ball, Kiriko Lucio, Sombra Tracer, a composition reminiscent of the Reaper Sombra, Winston Diva, Moira Lucio comp in Overwatch 1. A composition that plays fast. It can live the sustained fight, sure, but Maelstrom's comp is going to live the sustained fight so much better. They have the Ana and the Kiriko healing, and they have Ramattra, who excels so well in the mid-fight with his Nemesis form and his Annihilation ultimate. It was impossible for Puking Dogs to win the mid-fight at any point there because Maelstrom permanently had their ults online because the fights lasted so long. It was just a really, really well-played defense from Maelstrom, but the aggression was not well used by Puking Dogs at all. But now we get to see the shoes kind of on the other foot here. Puking Dogs, they're going to be on the defense now, and they're playing their Sigma comp with the Bap Zen, Ashe, and Sojourn as well. They're going to be able to poke out Maelstrom effectively, but Maelstrom, they've taken a Puking Dogs comp. They're playing the Ball Tracer Sombra, but with the Ana Zen instead of the Lucio Kiriko.
Once again, we're seeing a very dive-heavy attacking composition here, which it did work for Pukin Dogs in the attacking half. The problem is the fact that they just couldn't sustain it for the rest of the map, right? There is going to be point pressure almost immediately from the Wrecking Ball of Blatman, but oh, that's not good. Nova just barely getting out of that situation alive. There's still point pressure being laid down here. They've got to pick off of just, like, the ball being here. Nothing else has happened yet. The Discord Orb goes out onto the Wrecking Ball, but somehow he's still alive. Will escape, find a health pack or something. And with that first tick already captured, it is looking real rough for Pukin Dogs.
Yeah, it definitely is. And they're all set up on the back high ground here. Maelstrom, they can just take complete control of their map. The supports are rotating to the top. We're going to see a slam coming in from Flatman soon. And the engage, that slam probably going to hit all 5 people. Here it is.
Yep, that's a big slam. Lots of damage onto that Zenyatta in particular. Nova looking real worse for wear right now. Potentially going to fall here. That slam is going to find it, but not before Nova finds a shot on the Hypernut. Really good stuff there. Oker at this amplification matrix, by the way, could see something big from him in this side room if nobody shuts him down here. Ricky's going to take out Iconic and just barely keep that Batiste alive. And now, I think it's back to the drawing board. If you don't have your Tracer, then, yeah, that's not going to happen. But wait, Sigma falls very low. The Kinetic Grasp will top him off, though. Good peel from both the Batiste and his own abilities. Out goes the slam, the mines. Zorthon falls into him. Not a whole lot you can do about that one. Oker, about half HP in the back, but Slick's going to find the pick on a Blatman. 98% on this pulse bomb from Iconic, though. Could potentially find a massive pick and open this wide up. A nano boost, a Transcendence, and a lack of a Sombra. Down she goes, and now this is another reset for Maelstrom. Pukin Dogs, after giving up a kind of egregious first tick, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely are, but Maelstrom here, they have some tools in the bank to catch up a little bit here. They have Hypernut's EMP that's 90%. The EMP, it doesn't matter how many ultimates Puking Dogs are approaching here. They're approaching 4, by the way. Hypernut, if he hits a good EMP, all of them can't use their ultimates. But all these get scouted. Oh, he's dead! Why?
He's dead?
That's so bad for Maelstrom. They're only going to have one fight left on the attack here. Their composition, it plays so slowly. Mambro Dude and Triage, they have to set up in a position. This is probably going to be last fight territory. They need this EMP engage to go really well. Flatman going in early, going for a little bit of poke. I'm not sure why he's doing that. He's going to get caught out.
What are you doing?
And it's just burning more and more time here from Maelstrom.
Nah, what was that? That is... What was that, man, from Blatman? That was just... okay, I hesitate to use the word feeding, but you might have been feeding, brother. Like, I don't know about that one, boss. That's a little bit rough. Either way, 40 seconds left going into this one. And Maelstrom, they need to do a better job this fight of taking an aggressive fight, and they do that. They do that immediately. Hypernut finds 3 picks. How do you find 3? 3? Alright, they're gonna take first point. They're gonna take first point. They got it. Nice job.
Yep. And it did not matter how much Maelstrom fumbled there in when the time was raining down. They had 2 people caught out before the fight even started. All they needed was the EMP engage. Hypernut finds 3 or 4 with the EMP. They find 3 kills off of it. A good engage from Maelstrom is all you need, and that's what they're going to be needing to play for on second point as well. Hypernut already 40% to the next EMP. The EMP is so crucial here for Maelstrom. They need it to be able to break through Pukin Dogs' defense. Pukin Dogs, they're playing a poke comp, but they're stacking arguably a little bit too much. Usually you see 2 or 3 people constantly stacked for them, and because of that, the EMPs from Hypernut are going to be really, really effective in disrupting Pukin Dog's setup. But without an EMP here, it's going to be hard for Maelstrom to engage. The minefield from Flatman could be big, though.
Could be real nice for him to just break this high ground control that the supports of Pukin Dogs have taken. Not going to opt to use it there. Zorthon and Ogre both able to peel for each other rather well. The golden box of victory well within reach right now. Nova's looking real low. Will eventually get back in time to be healed. Slick popping this overclock, but will be booped into the enemy team by Flatman. Zorthon and Ogre both popping the support ultimates here. Flatman going down here. I think that Flatman going down means that they will be able to survive for at least one more fight, Pukin Dogs. But this EMP coming up from Hypernut could be big in the next fight. Iconic taking down Nova means that you can maybe continue to sustain this fight though. 157 health on that barrier. You need to take it down. You need to let it recharge a little bit. Flatman comes back. Flatman is here. This is bad. You don't rock him. And here comes the EMP. Out it goes. Bap dead. Sigma dead. Sojourn dead. They're all dead. Down goes the Sombra, but it will not matter. Maelstrom will take map 2.
And what a surprising win there from Maelstrom. I mean, their defense went so well, but the attack on first point, it looked like it was just a shambles. Like,
it was.
They steal the first tick immediately, which was highway robbery, them getting the tick immediately as the fight started, or as the attack started, excuse me. But then Maelstrom, they kind of just flounder around for a little while, but then they hit the good EMP engage, and they win off of it. They get to second point, and Pukin Dogs don't contest the cart for a long time. They allow Maelstrom, I believe just the Tracer of Iconic, to push the cart all the way right next to the little golden box of victory, and then they have to take the fight there. And, I mean, Pukin Dogs, they just don't have the tools to sustain on the cart. Maelstrom, they had Minefield. The Minefield really effective at zoning Pukin Dogs off. They were able to live through it, but then the EMP comes out from Slick and from Hypernut, and there's nothing that Pukin Dogs could do about it. I'm not sure why they allowed Maelstrom to push the cart that far, but I mean, credit to Maelstrom though. They are playing their comp very patiently and pretty well. The backline is doing a good job of just living.
That shot.
Oh, yeah, that shot was brutal from Hypernut. But the backline is doing a good job of living on Maelstrom. And so when the fight kind of breaks down and kills go back and forth, Triage and Man Bro Dude are always there to help support their team and to get kills when they can. And I think that's probably the big difference maker here for Maelstrom.
It's been absolutely massive for them for sure. And you say they're playing this composition, this dive comp, very patiently. I would almost argue too patiently. The fact that they've won both of these points entirely off of the back of their EMP plays is a little bit concerning going forward. I won't lie, because obviously, yes, EMP is a very powerful tool, and using it wins you a lot of fights. But what if that starts to get read, right? What if Pukin Dog starts to adapt around that? Maybe bring in a Lucio, sound barrier after the fact, hide the Lucio, all that jazz. So I think going forward, Maelstrom, I think they need to try to be a little bit less reliant on that Sombra, especially in compositions like that. But either way, I think we're going to be throwing it to a little bit of a break here. So don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be back soon with Map 3.
conversation. I already know what you're saying. I love a little conversations, and I don't want you to go changing. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. You just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable.